while Ontario and Saskatchewan just hit an all-time high benchmark price for the third month in a row. While Ontario and BC are in correction mode, Saskatchewan is booming. Here's why it could be Canada's next real estate hotspot. Saskatchewan's benchmark home price reached $435,200 in March 2026. That's a new record. And it broke the previous record set just 1 month earlier. Average home prices in April climbed to $373,199, up 5.3% from March. Sales jumped 11.8% in a single month. And the province has only 2.8 months of housing supply. That's one of the tightest markets in the entire country. To put that in perspective, Ontario has over 5 months of supply. BC has 6.8. Saskatchewan has 2.8. There are more buyers than homes available, and the gap is widening. Saskatoon is leading the charge. Average home price hit $451,000 in April 2026, up 8% year over year. Sales increased 18% from March. The benchmark price set an all-time high of $435,200, and there are only 1.6 months of supply in Saskatoon. That's 50% below the 10-year average. Multiple offers are common on well-priced homes. Agents describe finding a home in Saskatoon right now as finding a needle in a haystack. But here's what makes Saskatchewan different from every other hot market in Canada right now. It's still affordable. The national benchmark price is $663,828. Saskatoon's benchmark is $435,200. That's $228,000 below the national average. Regina's benchmark is even lower at $343,700. That's $320,000 below the national average. A family moving from Toronto, where the average home exceeds $1 million, could buy a detached home in Saskatoon and have $300,000 to $500,000 left over. A family from Vancouver could free up over $1 million. This is the exact same math that drove 37,000 British Columbians to Alberta in 1 year. Saskatchewan is next in line. The migration numbers are already showing it. Saskatchewan gained residents from interprovincial migration for 6 consecutive quarters. People are arriving from Ontario, BC, and Manitoba. Not in the same volume as Alberta yet. But the trend is accelerating. The job market supports the growth. Saskatchewan's economy is diversified across agriculture, mining, potash, uranium, oil and gas, healthcare, and education. The University of Saskatchewan and the University of Regina drive research employment and keep a younger population cycling through. Potash alone makes Saskatchewan one of the world's most important agricultural commodity exporters. And unlike Alberta's boom-bust energy cycle, Saskatchewan's resource base is more diversified and less volatile. CMHC's outlook for Saskatchewan is bullish. They expect continued price increases through 2026, driven by population growth, tight supply, and sustained demand from first-time buyers. Housing starts are proceeding as planned, with a focus on single-family homes and secondary suites for multi-generational households. But here's what most people miss about the Saskatchewan market. And this is what could make it the next Alberta-level story. Saskatchewan has no land transfer tax in the traditional sense. The province charges a modest land titles transfer fee. Property taxes are among the lowest for mid-sized cities in the country. No provincial sales tax on many essentials. and the cost of living outside of housing is dramatically lower than Ontario or BC. A single person in Saskatoon can live on roughly $1,500 a month before rent. That same lifestyle in Toronto costs over $2,200. In Vancouver, over $2,400. The cities posting the biggest gains aren't just Saskatoon and Regina either. Melville led the province with a 15% benchmark price increase. Yorkton posted 13%. Humboldt and Swift Current both posted 11%. These are small cities that most Canadians have never heard of. But the money is moving there. Now, here's the risk. Saskatchewan's population is small. The entire province has just over 1.2 million people. It doesn't take a massive wave of migration to tighten the market significantly, but it also doesn't take much of a slowdown to loosen it. If commodity prices drop, or if the potash and uranium sectors face headwinds, the economic base weakens fast. Saskatchewan's booms have historically been followed by extended flat periods. This isn't Alberta, where Calgary alone has 1.8 million people and a diversified urban economy. Saskatchewan's cities are smaller and more exposed to single industry risk. The other risk is infrastructure. Saskatoon and Regina weren't built for rapid population growth. Healthcare capacity is limited. Transit is minimal. And if housing construction doesn't keep pace with demand, affordability erodes quickly. The same pattern that turned Calgary from affordable to increasingly expensive could play out in Saskatoon within 3 to 5 years. But right now in May 2026, Saskatchewan checks more boxes than almost any province. Record prices that are still well below the national average. The tightest supply in the country. Strong job market across diversified industries. Low taxes and low cost of living. And a migration trend that's accelerating. Ontario is correcting. BC is correcting. Alberta is getting more expensive. Saskatchewan is the only province where prices are climbing from an affordable base with room to run. Is Saskatchewan on your radar, or is it still flying under it? Drop your take in the comments.